Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Now today's video is going to be a how to get free kills, specifically with Fenrir. But to get us started here for today guys, I'm putting a Fenrir trap inside of my missile hallway. I'm putting one inside of lockers. I'm going to be activating my one for lockers. I'm going to be deactivating the one that I have for stock, activating the one inside of missile hallway. And so I placed one above the door for stock, and that's just for insurance, so that way I don't get flanked in case somebody does try to hit the backside and my teammates aren't able to hold it. So that way I can just pop it if someone decides to push that direction. Now, the primary thing that I'm going to be going for in this specific round is that I want to be playing off of my lockers Fenrir trap and my missile hallway Fenrir trap. And the main thing that I want you guys to understand is that, and I'm going to make another video talking about this exact topic that I want to talk about in this first clip, but I want to talk about advantage positions. Okay, so the main thing that I want to talk about advantage positions is basically like any type of utility that makes the enemy player have to look away to shoot the gadget, or punch the gadget. So it could be like barbed wire, for example, and that's part of the reason why I want to make a video about it. And so what I'm doing here is I want these guys to run into my Fenrir traps, and then I'm going to be shooting them the moment that they're deep in my Fenrir trap. And theoretically, as long as I time it correctly, I should be getting free kills on every single swing. So what you're going to see here is someone's going to trigger my Fenrir trap for the missile hallway. I'm going to swing. There's going to be two guys that are going to be completely blind. So I'm going to go ahead and get myself a free kill on one. Then there's going to be another guy that's going to push the lockers, and then I'm going to swing him and get myself a free kill off of this angle that I'm holding currently. And then there's going to be another guy that I saw earlier on the missile double door that I'm also going to kill, because I'm just going to straight up ego challenge once again. Right there, I get one kill right there. One guy's going through lockers. I'm going to get a free kill on him. Then I'm going to swing for the last guy that was for missile hallway, and I'm going to go ahead and pick him off right there. And we get a nice little 3K. All completely free kills. Now it's only with two Fenrir traps too. Like, they didn't even get my lockers Fenrir trap. So I go ahead and put another Fenrir trap for the missile hallway, and then it turns into a 4v1 position. And unfortunately for me, I get too antsy to try to finish the clip, and I go ahead and try to ego challenge this guy. He is unfortunately going to end up killing me because he somehow gets into sight behind me. But we're going to go ahead and secure the round anyway, though, because my teammates are going to hit him in a pinch position right here for lockers, and we're going to go ahead and get the free kill right there and secure the round. Now, the next thing I want to talk about with Fenrir is that there's an opportunity to use his traps in a way where, like, you just pop them and the enemy team doesn't know it's there originally. So, like, for this specific round, I have a Fenrir trap above this shrine doorway to T, and I know that the enemy team is going to push this eventually. So what I want to do in this position is I want to wait till they're actually in, and then I'm going to pop my Fenrir trap while they're pushing me. So for context, there's a Monty and an Ace that's going to be pushing my dragon here. And so what I want to do is I want to position myself in a way where I can essentially activate my trap while they're in front of it, so that way they get blinded by it, which will essentially lead to me getting a free kill. So with the current meta of Fenrir, you can only have two traps activated at one time. So what I do here is I'm prioritizing traps that are on site, so that way we have a strong site presence, even if I'm not actively playing it. However, I do know for context that there's a Monty and an Ace pushing my backside, and they actually open up the doorway for my shrine right here. I'm going to pop my Fenrir trap. Ace is going to be freaking out because he suddenly got blinded, and I'm going to go ahead and give myself a free kill onto him. Now in this next step, I'm going to be fast forwarding through this prep phase here, but essentially what I'm going to be trying to do is I'm going to be placing my Fenrir traps inside of sites, specifically inside a garage, and I also want to put a Fenrir trap for coffee machine. I'm going to barricade a doorway right here just so that way it burns a little bit of time. It doesn't have to burn an absurd amount of time. I just want to burn a little bit of time there and also give myself a brief window of time before they're actively pushing there. I put one of my Fenrir traps for top spiral, and I'm also reinforcing the wall for coffee here. Now, the idea with this is that I don't have to put a Fenrir trap inside a coffee yet, and the reason why is because they're going to have to go through my barricades first, which will be basically my alert, so I don't actually have to put a Fenrir trap there yet. Okay, and then I also have one for top spiral for anybody that tries to walk down into the bottom spiral position where I'm going to be actively playing. Okay, now technically people don't actually have to push this, but it is one of the pushes that people can do for this bomb site, where they push through the backside, through the tunnel, through the archives, into coffee, going to the bottom spiral. Maybe they'll have somebody walk down spiral, maybe they'll do vert open wall, that type of thing. So that's the main reason why I'm playing here. But they go ahead and thermite open the wall here on my reinforcements for coffee. I'm going to deactivate one of my Fenrir's in sight, and I'm going to activate it for the hallway here. I'm going to swing. There's going to be a guy to hit one of my Fenrir traps off rip. I'm going to go ahead and swing right there, get IQ for free. And there's also a thermite there as well, guys, so keep that in mind, because IQ didn't thermite the wall, thermite thermited the wall. So we know thermite's also on the backside as well in this position. Now, what's going to end up happening here for context is that there's going to be the thermite that's going to be trying to like get quick peeks onto me, but he can't actually push me because of the Fenrir trap. And right here, somebody is going to try to walk down my spiral. He hits my Fenrir trap, and he does decide to just keep pushing up. So I go ahead and get myself a free kill because he's completely blind. I know that thermite is in the backside of coffee here, so I'm going to go ahead and challenge aggressively because I already know he's here from earlier in the round. Him using his utility tells me that he's in this position. So I go ahead and ego challenge, get myself a free kill onto him, and secure the round. Now, essentially, in this next clip, we're going to be doing the same thing, where we're going to be posted up on a position, and our goal is to make use of our Fenrir traps to get ourselves free kills. So, in this specific round, what I'm primarily going to be, my end goal position is going to be to play red to be able to get my free kills early on in the round. However, my end goal position would be study, okay? Because essentially what I want to do with my position is I want to make it difficult for them to do a backside push, and if they try to force a backside push anyway, my end goal would be to go to study to deny a default plant and essentially make their push obsolete, okay? Now, I was playing statue here early on just because I wanted to shoot a couple drones, maybe one or two, and then I want to rotate back to red here, which is what I do, because this is a type of position where a lot of people like to just crouch walk up, and you're going to see that here is somebody walks through my Fenrir trap for statue while someone walks up through statue doorway, hits my Fenrir trap, alerting me and my teammates, and what ends up happening is he's actually going to drop down and he's going to do the exact same thing as IQ and try to walk up red because it's the only option. So I get myself a free kill into him as well. Now it's a 5v3 position. We have Fenrir traps inside of boar, inside of statue doorway as well. So there's not really much of a backside push that they have going for them anymore in this position because my Fenrir traps completely shut them down. And I'm using the MP7 on red staircase here because it's just one of those positions where it's like it's very unlikely for them to be able to actually get rid of me out of this position. Now right here I do opt to try to flank. However, these guys have flank turns and they're actually actively aware of me flanking them, so I go ahead and just rotate away here, so that way I can get ready to play my next position, which will make their current position basically obsolete. Right here they start hitting my Fenrir traps for statue and for boar, so now I'm going to be rotating into study here, and it's a 5v2 position. Even if my teammates sell, the only thing that they really have to do for like a push in this position is to push through this aviator door, which has another one of my Fenrir traps on it. I'm on the study head holes, so there's not really much they can do in this position as long as they can't get into bar. So what I'm doing here is I'm relaying to my teammates like, hey, can you guys hold for bar side, and if you do, then we win the round on the spot. Because essentially what's going to happen is the moment that they walk into aviator, I'm going to be able to swing aggressively and get myself a free kill, and you're going to see that here in a second. I believe one of the ace or nomad is going to push into sight here to try to look for a default plant. He's going to hit my Fenrir trap. I'm going to go ahead and swing aggressively, kill the ace, and then I'm going to swing aggressively because I know the nomad's close because he hit my Fenrir trap. Unfortunately, I do end up dying, but this is still completely winning for my teammates because they can use the Fenrir trap to prevent any type of walk-in, basically securing the round. Now, in this next clip, we're going to be over on Cafe. We're going to be defending the top floor, and specifically, I'm going to be trying to do the exact same thing as before, where I'm going to be using Fenrir to try to hold a power position, specifically inside of cocktail and plywood, basically, is the idea. But the thing that I'm doing here is that I'm putting my Fenrir traps in positions where the enemy players are most likely to go, so that way there's not a easy way for them to push into us without me knowing. Now I actually do make a blunder in this type of position where essentially I should have not had my Fenrir Trap activated by New Hatch off rip, because it actually allows for a Skylight drop in this position. That's what these guys are going to end up doing, is they're going to triple flash us for Skylight, but essentially it's still a 2v1 position. My teammate's going to die, and then what's going to end up happening is the Buck is going to swing very aggressively for me right here, but I know he's pushing me because I get audio for it. And then what's going to happen here is I'm going to go ahead and activate my Fenrir Trap below Skylight to clear out that space. Then I'm going to activate the one over by the New Hatch balcony default plant, and then I'm going to deactivate the one for White Hallway and activate the one underneath bar. And this is just to make it so that way I completely shut down this push that's going towards my direction in this position. And essentially what I do opt for here is that in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's a 4v3 position. They don't really have much of a push for us for Cocktail here. However, my teammate does end up taking a lot of fire, and he actually dies over by Plywood, which is very unfortunate. But since it is a 3v3 position now, and they start flashing me, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and drop here and not worry about it. They do hit my Fenrir Trap, so I technically could have stayed. However, there was a very good chance that they could have funneled from White Hallway and got a pinch on me, and even if I do get that kill on the bar guy, there was a very high chance of me getting refragged. So I go ahead and opt to just back out, because they have Nomad and Knock last two alive, and they're both upstairs. They don't have much of a vert push in this position, so what I can do is I can go ahead and just rotate over to Fireplace, because they're either going to drop Fireplace or they're going to drop for White Stairs here and try to make a push from this direction. But right here I make a small rotate, and I actually get audio that the Knock is on White Stairs, and in this position, you can assume that Knock knows that I'm here, right? That I made that rotate hole. So she goes down the White Stairs, looks at my rotate hole, and I get myself a free kill on her, because she's thinking that I am going to be on that rotate hole, but I'm not. So I go ahead and get myself a free kill on her. And then this Nomad is going to actually catch me off guard, but I'm going to get a nice little flick onto her and secure the round. But anyway, guys, if you guys have enjoyed today's step-by-step video, please make sure to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!